Hello and welcome to the Evercade Retreat. Today I'm reviewing Arcus Odyssey and adding it to my overall ranking every Evercade game ever list. Arcus Odyssey is an action RPG with an emphasis on action, developed by Wolf Team, and it can be found on the Renovation Collection 1. There were other versions of the game, but it is the Mega Drive version we have on the Evercade. At first glance it does appear to be a very Gauntlet-esque style game, but it does go more into the story and a bit more in depth when it comes to items and, I suppose, slight RPG elements. Although very much like Gauntlet, there are 4 characters to choose from: Jeddah the Swordsman, Diana the Archer, Erin the Warrior Maiden, and Bede the Mage. Although unlike Gauntlet, each of the characters does play quite differently. And as you can no doubt tell from the footage on the screen, unlike Gauntlet, which is directly top down, Arcus Odyssey has an isometric view. The levels are also less linear. Now, the Gauntlet comparisons are probably getting a bit tired by now, and if you play it like Gauntlet, you probably won't last too long. You have a health bar, and when that's depleted, it's game over. You can continue from the beginning of the stage you got to. I think you get 3 continues in total, I can't remember. But there are various items you'll get along the way which will help you in some shape or form. It's a game I recommend reading the manual for, so you know how to use the magic properly and have an idea of what the various items do. When I initially played this game, I failed quite hard, died on the first level and thought, well, I'll come back to it, but I wasn't quite sure what to make of it. It does seem very challenging at first, but beating it without using save states is very possible once you've learnt the levels. But the levels are full of traps and hazards, and there's some pretty tough bosses. As I mentioned earlier, there is a plot to the game, which I won't go into here, but safe to say it involves an evil sorceress and all this sort of stuff. There is dialogue in the game, and I would recommend not skipping it too quickly. Graphically it's pretty decent, there's some good music as well, and overall I would say despite not being the easiest game to get into, it's well worth persevering with, even if you don't initially take to the game. As I mentioned, I didn't initially, and it took me a long time to come back to it and give it a proper playthrough. But once I did, I really wondered why I hadn't done it sooner, because it is a really good game. To place it in my overall ranking of every Evercade game ever, I would have to place it above Tapeworm Disco Puzzle and below Speedball 2. And I suppose a bit of personal background information with this game. I had never played it before getting an Evercade, although I had heard of it, and it's one that I'd wanted to try and get hold of when I was a teenager, but I was never able to find it back then. But anyway, I think that's enough for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.